Okay, so let's get started. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. So I'm hoping everybody is having a good time here in Palm Springs. So for this session, we are going to cover the topic of how to create a new theme for Web AppBuilder. Okay. So before that, let me introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Yiwei Ma. I'm a UI engineer at Esri. I've been here for more than 5 years now. So I design and develop web applications. Some of my work that you might be familiar with include the Launchpad theme for Web AppBuilder. Maybe some of you have already used that theme. And the new Add Data widget. And also the Calcite theme for Dojo. Okay, so that's about me. So, okay, Web AppBuilder. So we all know Web AppBuilder is a great tool for creating feature-rich JS apps with ease. And but what exactly is a Web AppBuilder theme? So a Web AppBuilder theme is it's kind of like a framework that defines the look and feel of the app that you're going to create it. So in details, it defines the app navigation. It defines what UI elements are going to be added into the apps that you are going to create it. And also it defines the behaviors of how the widgets are opened, are closed, and are switched. So by now, with the Web AppBuilder version 2.3, we have 8 out-of-box themes. Each of the theme provides a slightly different layout, and it provides different styles for you to use. And but for today, we are going to focus on how we can create a custom one. Okay. All right, let's get ready. So here are the 4 major components or concepts in a Web AppBuilder theme. So they are the layout, the panel, the style, and the widget. So let's take a closer look. First one, layout. So basically what a layout is, it is a configuration file that defines what widgets or UI elements that will be added to your apps by default. So like when you pick that theme, these widgets will be automatically added into your app. For example, like the layer list and the base map widgets. So let's take a look at the foldable theme as an example. So in this theme, it has a controller widget at the top. So in the layout, it defines the location of where this header should be located. And then the rest of the space will be the map. And on top of the map, we have a couple on-screen widgets. So on-screen widgets are the widgets that will be automatically opened. They won't be wrapped into a panel widget. I will cover that later. And a list of widget holders, like those 1, 2, 3 boxes on the map. And at the right, we have like a container, which is the panel. That will be responsible for displaying the widget content when you click one widget icon in the header. So all these, like the locations of the UI elements, how big they should be, they are all defined within this layout configuration file. Second is the panel. So by default, all the widgets in Web AppBuilder, they will be opened they will be opened within this panel widget. So for example, all the widgets in the controller or on the screen, they will show their icons first. So I think you have already seen those. And when you click one icon that will be opened, it's not really opening the widget itself. It is grabbing the content of the widget, get its DOM node, and put the DOM node into the panel. So the panel is kind of like a container for the widgets. And again, for the foldable theme, the default panel for the widgets for the widget pool will be that pink or red panel at the right, and also a panel to display the widgets when you click an on-screen widget. So when you click those, they grab the content of the widget and attach them and add them into the panel widget. Okay. All right, this one. Third one is a style. So the style technically is pretty much the CSS part of your app. And it defines the look and feel of your app. For example, here at Esri, if we are going to create a theme only for Esri, then it's going to have like a blue theme, like blue style to it. And if we are going to design a theme for the company lift, then they will have this kind of pink. On my computer is a pink theme, and for maybe another company it will be green. So that's the idea of a style in a Web AppBuilder theme. And then the last one will be the widget, but this widget is kind of different from the widget such as the layer list, base map, directions, those widgets. This technically it is called the theme widget. So it is different from those common widgets. Those widgets, like the layer list, they are only doing one job. But instead, a widget in a theme, it is responsible of controlling the behaviors within that theme only. And in this case, for the foldable theme, it is this header on the top. It is called the header controller. So it is responsible for getting the app's configuration and display the logo of the app, the titles of the app, and also display any widgets defined in the widget pool, which are those 4 circle icons on the top. Okay. Okay. So from now on, we are going to really dive into how to create a theme kind of from scratch. Okay, so before that, we need to know what the theme will look like. So here's a mockup I created over the weekend. It's a very simple one, and the source code of the theme will be available to you. And let's break down the UI elements. So at the very left side, we have this vertical sidebar that contains the logo of the app, and then the icons and the labels for the widgets they are added into the app, and also a nice user profile picture, which is me. Yep. And to its right, we have this container, which is a panel widget that will display the name of the currently selected widget, and the rest of the space it will display the actual content or the DOM node of the selected widget. Okay. Then we have the map, which is taking the full rest of the space in the app. And on top of the map, we have a couple simple on-screen widgets that we will be using. So They are the search widget and also the zoom slider widget. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right, so because I'm kind of going to dive in some coding, not really coding, I'm going to show some code. So these are the technologies or languages that will be used when creating a Web AppBuilder theme. So there are really just like 3 technologies, the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. Dojo is just a JavaScript framework on top of it. But we are going to use it very heavily. So before we start the step 1, following the previous slide, so how many of you are developers or have any experience with JavaScript, HTML, CSS? All right, nice, super. And I assume you guys know how to create like a Dojo widget, right? Like a templated Dojo widget. Okay. So the first step is to create the basic folder structure for the theme. And here's the minimum required folder structure of the theme. So we have the images folder, which by default only contains an icon of the theme, which we see those on the Web AppBuilder editor interface, which is that bluish circle with demo on it. That's the icon of our demo theme. And we have the layout folder that has 1 or more layouts. For example, we have seen like foldable themes has 3 or 4 layouts that you can pick from, but for this demo, we are just going to create 1. Then we have the strings, which are the labels, and then the styles folder, which define the CSS or like the look and feel of the theme. Then for the bottom 3 files, the main.js, probably we will never touch it. But for the common.css and the manifest.json, I'm going to cover them in details in the following slides. Okay. All right, I think I need to do that. Actually, I lied. I'm not really going to create the theme from scratch. When you download Web AppBuilder developer version, within the themes folder, there will be a folder called demo theme, which contains pretty much everything we need to start creating a new theme. The only folder is missing is the widgets folder, which I will add later. So, okay. And the next step is to update the manifest.json file. Within this file, it has some of the basic information or metadata about this theme. It has the name of the theme and also what layouts, panels, styles, or widgets this theme contains, and pointing to those folders, and some other supporting information such as the version on the author and the license. Okay, I think I need to sit down and show this. So here's the theme folder I copied from the demo theme, and I rename it to the sidebar theme 1. And within the manifest.json, all the names attributes, like the names of the theme, the name of the panels, the names of the styles, etc., they need to match exactly the names of their corresponding folders name, in order to let Web AppBuilder know where to get those files. Okay. This way. Okay. So after we have done this, and we refresh the Web AppBuilder, the theme should show up. Let's see this. So this is the sidebar theme step 1. we just kind of created. By the way, all these 7 or 6 breakdown themes will be available online, so you'll be able to download those and follow each steps to make sure you can actually create a new theme. Okay, so pretty much after the first step, the theme doesn't contain anything besides just the map and a couple on-screen widgets, such as the zoom slider, the home button, and the base map gallery. Okay. Step 2, update the layout. Okay. So the demo theme contains one default layout, and it comes with a set of widgets that will be added to the map or on top of the map. And because we don't need every widget that is defined in that layout.json, so the first step is to remove any widgets that we don't need. So in this case, in this demo, we are going to remove these 4 widgets from the map. And after doing that, the next step is to add the missing search widget. So here's the kind of the general structure of the widget in the layout.json. So it has a URI which is pointing to the folder that contains the actual widget. And here we have the visible equals to true, which means this widget will display automatically when within the theme, so it won't be displayed within like a panel. And also the position. So in this case, the search widget is positioned at the top right corner of the theme. And the next step is to reposition certain UI elements. So the first one will be the placeholder for the controller, because right now we don't have a controller widget yet, but let's have a placeholder for it. So which is this grayish vertical bar. So it has a left equals to 0, top equals to 0, and all those which will position this bar to the left of the screen and take the full height of the screen. Okay, and then we reposition the panel widget. In the default layout within demo theme, we are using the simple border panel, which is a very simple panel widget. But for now, let's just use it. And let's position next to the vertical bar, which will be the controller. And the next step is to reposition the map a little bit. So it is really just this left equals to 510 pixels, which will push it kind of to the right on the screen. And here's the layout, like how it looks when you open it in the Web AppBuilder editor. So let's take a look. Step 2. So right now we have this number 1, which is the placeholder for the controller. And then this white space will be the panel, and the map, and a couple on-screen widgets. Okay. And let's overlay our mockup on top of it. Then we know we are doing everything correctly. Step 3, the controller widget. So controller widgets, in this case, we are going to create a widget that contains the logo of the app, and then display the list of the widgets that are added into the app, and also the picture of the user currently logged in. So, so the sidebar controller will be able to, as I mentioned before, to read the app configuration settings, which is actually the information you entered or you modified on the Web AppBuilder editor UI under the Attributes tab, which includes the logo of the app, the main title of the app, the subtitle, the links, and a couple more other information. So this widget will be able to read all this information and grab the information specifically for the logo, get its URL, and display the image on the user interface. And it will also be able to read the information about the user and display the picture on the UI. And for the widget icons parts, we will be able to read all the configuration settings of the widgets within the app. And finally, the sidebar controller will be able to automatically open the very first widget or any widget that has this open at start turned on. So this open at start is this option. So when you pick different one. Sorry. So it is this circle really. So when you click this circle, this widget will have a property called open at start turned on. All right. So because, as I mentioned before, the current demo theme doesn't have the widgets folder, so the first step is to create a folder called widgets. And we're going to copy one of the sample widgets from this widget folder, sample widgets. So I prefer to use this template called custom widget template. It pretty much contains everything that we need. You don't need to add or remove anything. So just copy this folder, paste it into the widgets folder under the theme folder. And for our demo, let's rename it to sidebar controller. The next step is to modify the manifest.json for this widget. Let me show the source code. Right. Okay. So here's another manifest.json, kind of similar to the one for the theme. So it has the name of the controller and a bunch of other informations. They are not really important. What are important are the properties under the properties attribute. So in panel means this widget will not require a panel to be opened. So we will automatically display the content of the widget. Its controller property, we set it to true, means it is a controller widget, obviously, right? And also is theme widget, which means it's not a common theme that can be used by any other themes. It is only the widget for this demo theme only. Okay, this way. Then the next step is to actually construct the front end, the UI of that sidebar controller. So I think everybody is familiar with how the Dojo widget works. So this is the HTML template, no difference than any other Dojo widget. So within this template, we have one controller that will display the logo, and also another div that will contain the icons and the labels for the widgets, and also the picture of the user. Okay. After we have done all these, the next step is to update the layout config.json because that old layout config file still has the widgets placeholder in it. It doesn't have a URL telling it which widget it should display. So within this file, we added one more attribute over here and pointing to the controller widget we just created. Let's show that real quick. Come on, all right, this one. Yeah, it is the very first widget placeholder. And we add this line of code. And when we refresh Web AppBuilder, the sidebar controller will display. By the way, this red kind of background is something that comes from the CSS file that comes with the demo theme. So we are going to replace this. Okay. All right. Drink some water. Then we get into the step to actually add or define the user interface for that sidebar controller. So the very first step is to get the app configurations. So we use this .appconfig within the widget.js file. We call that function, or not function, the property, and then within this JSON object, it contains the logo, which is the URL pointing to the logo image. Then when we get that, then we just simply update the UI and display the logo. It's pretty straightforward. And the next step is to get users' information and display his or her profile picture. So here we utilize the one class that is provided by the GMU framework, which is called Portal Utils. So basically, this Portal Utils allows us to get information about like an online user, like a portal user, or a portal add-in, or a group, or pretty much any other information that we want from like a portal or our ArcGIS Online site. So I'm not really going to dive into the details of this chunk of code. So basically what it does is it gets the user's information, then read the URL of the picture, get it, and attach it to the UI. And the next step is to read the configurations of all the widgets defined within the WidgetPool object, and then we loop through them, get their icon URLs and their labels, and put them onto the UI. So after this step, we are going to see all the widgets icons display in the vertical sidebar. And we are also going to attach a couple event handlers. So when we click on different icons, the content of the widget will be displayed in the panel. Yeah. And this is how it looks like after the step. Step 4. Okay. So right now we can kind of see the more complete picture of the theme. So we already have the logo added, the user profile picture added, and also all the widget icons being added. And then the first widget will be opened automatically. Step 4 is to define or create the panel widget. This is very simple. So for this widget, it is pretty much doing nothing besides displaying the name of the current selected widget, and also display the content of the widget or the DOM node of the widget. So here again, we are reusing some of the sample widget that comes with the demo theme. So here we have the simple border panel, which is a panel widget by itself. And we are going to rename it to simple header panel. Because we changed the name of that folder, we need to update also the information within the manifest.json for the theme, and also the configuration of the default layout to point to the correct folder. And if you open the simple border or here, the simple header panel folder, it doesn't have the HTML template in it yet. So we are just going to simply add the HTML template for it over here. So it has the container for the title of the widget and also the content of the widget. Yeah, so I think we all know that for a template Dojo widget to make it work, we need to add these dependencies in a defined area to make it as a template widget. And then the next step is to read the configuration of the currently open widget and get the title or the label of that widget and add it to the UI. Very easy. And for the content, to display the content of the widget and attach it into the container node element, we don't need to do anything because panel widget inherits or extends from this GMU-based widget panel class. Basically, this class is doing everything already for us. And if you are interested, you can actually take a look at that class. It provides, besides this adding, displaying the widget content, it also provides all the event handlers for us, like on open, on close, on minimize, on all those. So that's it for the panel. Let's pick this step. So we can see the name of the widget. It has already been added into the header section of this panel widget. Okay. Yeah, last step, style. So as I mentioned before, the style is really the look and feel of the app. And technically, it is the CSS part of the whole thing. Let's take a look at Sorry, I just jumped to the very last slide. Okay. Okay. So let's take a look at this, the current theme again. It looks pretty awful. At least to me, it doesn't have any nice looking styles applied to it. It looks very different from the mockup that I created. So within this step that we are going to actually modifying and adding more styles to make it nice looking. And before that, let me introduce the concepts of Web AppBuilder UI in general. So within this graph, this white circle is the Web AppBuilder UI framework. And within it, it has some of the Dojo digits, such as the form elements, like the buttons, the drop-down buttons, checkbox, all those. And also it has some of the widgets from Esri's ArcGIS API. And Web AppBuilder, it has its own GMU framework, and within that framework, it has its own GMU widgets, and it has its own GMU CSS files. So why is this? Let's take a look at a different angle. Because ArcGIS API for JavaScript, it is built on top of the Dojo framework. And the widgets, like a lot of widgets from the API, they are reusing the digits from Dojo. But at least for 3.x API, starting 4.x, we are kind of slowly removing those Dojo digits. And on top of these two frameworks, we have the GMU framework that is kind of providing its own UI components and also overwriting some of the styles of the digits or widgets from these two frameworks below. And on top of all this, we have the theme. And within the theme, we have basically two CSS files. One is called common.css, and then another is called style.css. And these two files are responsible for defining the look and feel of your theme. And it should be able to overwrite the styles from these bottom three frameworks as needed. So first, the common.css. One theme only has one common.css at the root level. So what it does is basically it is overwriting or resetting any of the styles provided by the Dojo ArcGIS API or the GMU frameworks. And here my recommendation is to use this file to only overwrite the basic styles. For example, like the fonts, the icons, and the normalization, which is usually that reset CSS. Like you are resetting the default styles. For example, like for the div, for the headers, like H1, H2, H3, all those, and also the spacings, which means which includes the paddings and margins of the UI elements, and if possible, you can overwrite any of the UI components from Dojo framework or Esri's ArcGIS API. So here's an example. If you open the foldable theme, you can tell, if you are familiar enough with Dojo framework, you can tell some of the UI elements, they have the Claro theme applied to them. But if you open the Launchpad theme, you can see those UI elements have been restyled. And if you open that common.css file, you can see like a huge file which with all the CSS rules that are overwriting basically everything from Dojo and the ArcGIS API. So yeah, by the way, it took me like a couple months to do that theme. It took a long time. All right, so the common CSS is basically resetting, kind of like resetting the some of the UI elements. And the style.css is really something that is showing the branding of your theme. For example, for this foldable theme, when you switch between different styles, it is pretty much only updating the background colors for the header controller or the panels. So let's take a look at some of the code I added within this theme. Okay. So here's a common.css edit. So the first step I did was to actually use a different font and reset the font. Then starting from here, anything that starts with Claro, it means I'm overwriting the styles for the Dojo digits. Here we have the override for the Dojo digit horizontal slider. And also here, starting from here, I'm overwriting some of the Web AppBuilder widgets. So any class name that begins with Yiwei-widget means it is overwriting the widget from Web AppBuilder. So here I'm overwriting the zoom slider, and also the search widget. That's it. And the rest of it is just is another override for the near me widget, and also its panel styles. You don't have to really look into the code because everything will be available to you. Okay. So after adding all those styles, we can see already the changes. You can see the search widget looks different. The zoom slider has some rounded corners. The spacing of the sidebar is different, and also the text box from Dojo and this slider from Dojo. But it still doesn't have the branding colors added to it yet. It's only taking the default background color from the gmu.css. And then the next step will be the last step, will be to add the branding colors, to apply the branding colors. So here, I'm overwriting some of the CSS classes and apply some bluish color to the certain UI elements. So it's very simple. So any UI elements that have this class name added to it will be changed to have a different look and feel. So coming back to the app, where is it? Coming to the app, let's pick the very last one. So we can see by picking the default style, we apply a different branding color to the theme. So that is this one. And if we have a slightly different branding, for example, like a reddish theme, we can just swap those colors in that style.css. So that will look like this. Okay. All right, I think that's it. I know it's kind of hard for me to cover everything within 1 hour session, to cover all these 4 big components. But I think the slides will be available to you to download later. And here I have the source code uploaded on GeoNet. So maybe wait for like a week or so when you get the slides. Go to GeoNet and then download the source code, and just revisit the slides and try to follow each step. It should be pretty simple to follow the steps, and from there, you should be confident to start creating your own themes. And also, I wrote another online tutorial on the Web AppBuilder's developers site, which is the second link. It is like another walkthrough to create a different theme, like another theme. So that's that. Do we have any questions? Yes.
If we wanted to take an existing theme like multiple or launchpad or something,
Mm-hmm.
just add a couple extra placeholders, like it's got placeholders for 3 widgets we need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just copy it and modify? Where would you start to modify that?
Okay.
Just add a couple extra placeholders.
Oh, okay. So you mean like right now there are like, for example, like 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Those, and you want to like 5, 6, 7, right? So within your layout, I can show you real quick. So within the layout file, here maybe the first one is a good example. So within the layout file, you can see the varied. Okay, this one. You can see this placeholder. It doesn't have a URI added to it yet, so it doesn't know. So basically, this is the placeholder.
Okay.
So in order to add more, you just copy this code and paste it.
So that would show up as a 1. And if you
Yeah.
put 3 more, it would show up as 2 and 3.
Right. So it will automatically number those.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This first. Okay.
When adjusting styles, how does that carry down to mobile layouts, like when it goes responsive or like
Okay.
device?
Okay, that's a good question because I was initially trying to cover that part within the slides, but in the end I didn't have enough time. But I also have a tutorial online you can look up. But actually 2 parts are involved. First is to define the mobile layout within the layout.js, and that will change the layout of the UI elements on the mobile phone. And also, when your app is viewed on a mobile device, there will be a class name added to, I think, either the body tag or the container of the app. So you can utilize that class name to override any styles. Okay.
On the same note, how is it affecting multiple browsers? Is that going to be the same?
Multiple browsers, you mean?
Browsers like Google Chrome,
Yeah. Yeah. So officially we are supporting IE 9 and up. So it really depends on your requirements, like whether you want to support IE 9 or even IE 8. But you are losing all the newest technologies in CSS, right? You won't be able to create a kind of modern, nice-looking UI because you won't, for example, you won't be able to use like the border radius, like box shadow, all those CSS 3 properties. Yeah, but for all the latest browsers, they're all the same. They should appear all the same. Yes.
Question about, so we get our styles customized in one version of the Web AppBuilder, like I did with 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I upgraded to 2.1, I had problems. I had to go back and reconfigure everything. Is there like or something we can take our customizations and move that over
Yeah, unfortunately, right now we don't have that. So basically, yeah, I have heard complaints on that. Like sometimes when people move to the newer version of Web AppBuilder, they need to kind of manually compare the differences. If there's a bug, they have to manually locate it and fix it. So yesterday somebody else mentioned that at the booth, And I took a note. Hopefully we can have something for that. All right. Anything else? Yes.
I saw the controller widget on the very left. There are several symbols on that, including the logo. If we do not like those symbols, can we move the on-screen widget to the controller widget? Just one button, one button.
Yeah, I think so. I think I didn't show that part in my slides, but after you have your controller widget, this option will show up. So you can set the widgets in this controller. So you click. I added these 4 widgets by myself, but what you can do is you can just keep adding, that's a bad one. Keep adding like widgets to it. And it will show also over here. And if you don't like the icons, you can click the settings button, and here you can change the icon to something else, like to a different image. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. So definitely go back and get the source code and try it yourself. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. If you ever happen to have your Esri events app opened, please go to my session and provide some feedbacks for me so I can do better next time. Okay, thank you.